What up, mathletes? Whoop, whoop. Welcome to today. I know I look a little weird. Sorry, it's a wacky tacky day at school, so here we go. But let's look at this. I will solve multi-step equations using properties of equality. We're going over 2.3. Take a minute, guys. As always, you know the drill. Go ahead and let me move stuff out of the way. Do these problems right here, and we will talk about them in just a moment. Pause it, all that good stuff. I'll take a drink of coffee, give you a chance to pause it. Okay, let's go. Distribution should be on your lips, because that's what we're doing right here. What the heck is under our paperclip? So we're going to do distribution. I'm going to get 5k minus 15 minus 7. Together these make minus 22, and that's 5k minus 22. Boom. Distribution here. 3a plus 6 minus 5a plus 3. 3a minus 5a, right? Got to take the sign in front of it as well, is going to be negative 2a, and 6 plus 3 is plus 9. Or I could have 9 minus 2a this, or if you wrote down 9 minus 2a, same answer, okay? Over here, here's where you got to be careful, guys. I'm going to move this back up. Let's get some away. You have to distribute the negative with the 3. So this is 12, and I got negative 3 times 2t is minus 6t, and negative 3 times negative 7 is plus 21. So I'm going to add 21 to 12. I get 33. I'll have 33 minus 6t. Or you could have had negative 6t plus 33. It's all up to you. Now let's look right here. It says write an expression for the area of the figure. Well, area is length times width for this, right? And we're going to go, all right, my length is 6, so that's going to equal 6 times, and then that's y plus 4, y plus 4. And if I want, I can stop there, or I can distribute this, which I'm going to distribute it, and I get what? 6y plus 24. Boom, that's the area. And if I want perimeter, don't forget, perimeter equals 2 times length plus 2 times width, right? So I'm going to have this equals 2 times my length of 6 plus 2 times my width of y plus 4. And I get what? Let's go up here. I'm going to have 12 plus, and that's going to distribute to be 2y plus 8. So I can either have 20 plus 2y or 2y plus 20. Don't care which direction. Boom! That's your warm-up. Let's go. It's good warm-up, good practice, good math skills. Now let's talk about addition. We want to talk about opposite operations. But before we do, I almost forgot. I have a vocab for you. And what is a multi-step equation? It is an equation that uses more than one property. That uses more than one property of equality. Gotta catch up with my words. Property of, here we go, so you can see it. More than one property of equality to solve it. Okay, pause if you need to write down. We're moving on. And we're just going to write down opposite operations. What's opposite of addition? Subtraction. I'm just going to write that. What's opposite of subtraction? Addition. Opposite of multiplication is division. And opposite of division is multiplication. So you use opposites to undo. If I want to undo times in something, I divide by it. So let's look at that. 11x minus 24 equals 9. What's the opposite of minus 24? Plus 24. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. By the way, when I talk about sides, sides are separated by an equal sign. Sometimes it helps people to draw that down, the equal sign, just to separate. And we'll go from there. So we get 11x, boom, equals 9 plus 24 is 33. And then I have 11 times x, a number next to a variable, right? That's multiplication. So we undo multiplication with division. Divide by 11, and x equals 3. Boom, right there. Let's look at this next one. This looks a little challenging. But we can do it. Are you ready for this? So we're going to have, I'm going to treat this like it's parentheses right there, because it is, even though we don't see them. And this fraction bar means divided by, right? So if this means divided by, what's the opposite of division? It's multiplication. If I'm dividing by 8, I'm going to multiply times 8. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So those cross out, I'm left with a plus 7 equals 40. And now, I want to get a by itself, so I'm going to subtract 7. I get a equals 33. Boom! Look at that. Good stuff right there. Okay, now we're going to talk about solving multi-step word problems. Take a minute, read this, see if you can set up an equation, solve it. Ready, set, go. Okay. The student council raised 2/5 of the money they need to cover the cost of the school dance. Let's see. 2/5 of the money they need to cover the cost of the school dance. That sounds important with a bake sale. They raised an additional $150 selling raffle tickets. If the student council has raised $630, what is the cost of the dance? So that's what we're finding. What is the cost of the dance? Write an equation for the problem and solve it. The question usually tells you what the variable needs to be. So we're going to let C equal cost of dance. This will help us because watch this. That means cost of school dance right here. This is C. So right here, this tells me my equation. School council raised 2/5 of, 2/5 is multiplied. So we're going to say 2/5 of the money they need to cover the cost of school dance. That would be C, 2/5 C. They also raised an additional 150. Additional, that tells me to add 150. So plus 150. And if I add this together, so 2/5 the cost of dance plus that $150 should equal the total they raised of $630. Boom. So let's solve this. Minus 150 minus 150. I get 2/5 C. That's gone. Equals, well, I'm going to have to do some 0, borrowed a 5. 13 minus 5 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. 2/5 C equals 480, multiplied by the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse, whatever you want to call it. Boom. 5 halves, that's over 1. We're going to cross cancel, right? These are gone. I'm just left with C equals, and then 2 goes into 2 once, goes into 480, 240 times. 5 times 200 is 1,000. 5 times 40 is 200. So that's going to be $1,200. But word problems get word answers. So we're going to say the cost of the dance is $1,200. Boom. Okay, let's try this again. Remember, pause this as needed, right? Pause if you want to give this a shot. In fact, pause, give this a shot, see if you can figure it out. All right, Hiroshi is buying a snowboard that is on sale. After he uses a $50 gift card, the total tax, it's supposed to be the same before taxes, cost before taxes is $190. And I did forget to write down the question, what is the original, I'm going to write OG price, you know, original gangsta price of the snowboard. This one's a little bit different. Okay, so first of all, again, the question tells us the variable. So we're going to say, let S equal cost of snowboard. I'm going to write SB. And it said he's buying a snowboard that is on sale after he uses a $50 gift card. Okay, the total cost before taxes is $190. So I know this should equal, whatever we're equaling should be $190, but what goes before that? Okay, I also know I'm going to subtract 50 because I used a $50 gift card, right? Here's what else, this sign's going to help me. It says 3/4 of original price. So I know 3/4 of the original price minus $50 should get me $190. See how that, or should be $190, right? So let's add 50 to both sides. All right, so we had 50 to both sides, and what do we get here? We get, and I'll separate my sides, right? 3/4 S equals 240. All right, again, multiplicative inverse or reciprocal, depending on which. 4/3. 4/3. I always write this over 1 to help me space it out. Those cancel out, and I get S equals 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 24 8 times, and we got a 0. Boom, 80. S equals 80. Times 4, right? Because we got to do times 4 right there. So this ends up equaling $320. Boom, the original price. So what do we say? The OG price of the SB snowboard was $320. Boom. Okay, I'm moving fast because you can pause it. Yeah, don't stress out on this, guys. I even put a little freaky Halloween stuff on it. Why? What if we have letters as coefficients? Oh, no. Look at that. I have an AX. How does that even work? It's actually easier because you don't have to finish the math. Check this out, guys. What would we normally do? We'd subtract 7 from both sides, right? Boom. When I get AX, that's gone, equals -2. I have A times X. How do I get rid of the A and solve for X? Undo times. Divide by A. Divide by A. That goes to 1. I get X equals -2 over A. If you will let yourself get away from the, it's letters! No, letters! This math freaks me out. If you get away from that, then you will realize that you can crush it. Okay, and of course, A cannot equal 0 on this one because you can't have division by 0, but let's check this out. Now you're like, letters and fractions, Mr. Tim. You have gone overboard. You've gone a step too far. We can do this. We got to just breathe. Breathe together. Are you ready? We're going to add 4 to both sides. 1 over A x, that's gone, equals 13. Okay, what's the reciprocal of 1 over A? That'd be A over 1. That's the multiplicative inverse. And I don't even need that over 1, right, over here. Those cancel out. I get X equals 13A. It's actually easier math. Less to do. I'm telling you, embrace it. It's not bad. And the last one right here. Are you ready for this? I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Boom. This is the only one that I think has any real, can look a little challenging at times. Equals, remember, -8 getting more negative is -10. I need to get rid of that -A, and it's multiplied, so I'm going to divide by -A. Boom, those are gone. Divide by -A. What's a negative over a negative? It's a positive. And so what do I get? X equals +10 over A. I'm telling you, embrace it, people. You can do this. With that said, peace out.